Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Jimmy Wizard, vocalist of the band Higher Power. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated crew? On this episode, we're joined by a living, breathing wizard, Jimmy from Higher Power. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. Very good. I'm actually a little bit sleepy, so I'm not caffeinated. So yeah.
Well, did you work today? Do you have a day at work?
No, I had the day off. I just it's like Sunday. There's no one wants to get tattooed. I just did a Friday the 13th thing. And that was super late, and then I worked all day yesterday. So yeah, I was just enjoying a day off. Went on a big dog walk. So
I saw you had that flash thing going on for Friday. The tattoo price was reasonable, but the plane ticket was a little expensive. So I couldn't quite make it over, but I hope everything went well.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a good time. It's a good excuse. It's like this time of year is rough as a tattooer, so whatever kind of deals, an excuse to make a deal just to get some tattoos to do. It's, just got to use them.
It's good that the 13th, the Friday 13th came on January, so we didn't have to wait long this year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I've never done one. I've tattooed for about 9 years now, and that was my first Friday the 13th event I ever have participated in, so it was fun.
Did you get any weird requests besides the flash?
No, it was chill. Yeah, it's like I didn't get anything weird. It was pretty uneventful,
Okay.
Just a lot of the same regular people that I tattoo that just wanted a cheap tattoo because it's just being Christmas and everyone's broke, so it was very uneventful and the same kind of people I always tattoo, so it was nice. So
nice. Well, it's cool to hang out with some homies, I guess. That's fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I know that we were talking beans means something different to you. I will ask you though, do you have a drink going on right now?
I don't. I have water. I'm keeping hydrated.
Hell yeah.
I drank quite a lot of wine last night, so just today I'm just strictly on the water, and I've done a big walk, so I'm just trying. I wasn't hungover, but you definitely feel it when you've been on the wine the night before, and felt a bit sluggish. So yeah, today I'm just pure. This morning I made a mushroom elixir, like I've got all these like mushroom powders. A bit of lion's mane and so all that stuff, a shaga mushroom, and it's kind of tastes like coffee in a weird way. It's very bitter,
Yeah.
So I had that this morning, and I've just been on the water ever since, trying to rehydrate after all the pizza and wine I had last night. So
damn. You sound like an Italian.
I know, I should be. It's two of my favorite things. Wine and pizza. So
you don't get that headache.
What, from wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's always like that's why I've just been drinking loads of water. And I can't even get it before bed. Sometimes you'll be getting to bed and you'll be like, oh, I've already got a little bit of a headache, but. It's just it was just relaxing, just nice, relaxing evening of That's indulging. Cool.
Yes, so a Saturnalia, if you will. I'm drinking today. It's a coffee I picked up yesterday. I didn't even know that this was from Montreal because a friend of mine in a coffee Discord that I'm in, he posted it, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But it's called. It looks like Binocle, but it might be Binocle. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I think it means binoculars in French. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to Google Translate that for me, that would be
My
key.
housemate is actually French, so after this, I'll ask her how
Yeah,
to
please.
translate. When if I see her later, I'll ask her what the word is.
But it's called Santo Domingo. It's a Guatemalan coffee that uses. So I'm gonna go a little sciencey. This is not to
Yeah,
dissuade you from trying coffee, but they use a carbonic maceration
yeah,
process. So they basically put the coffee when it's ripe, like the red cherry. They put it
yeah,
inside of a container, an airtight container, and infuse CO2 into it and let it sit for up to like months so that it gets infused with this like carbon, like the CO2, and then
yeah,
they take it out once it's been fermented the right amount, like wine, and then
yeah,
they do like the other process where they remove the seed from the pulp and roast it.
yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Weird science, but it makes it
Yeah,
taste really crazy. Like this
tasty.
one tastes like cherry cola, like a vanilla cherry Coke.
Yeah. Fuck.
So
See, I'd
weird.
probably try that if you were like, if I was there and you were like, this tastes like, because I'd just be interested to see how that translates into like a coffee taste, you know. So,
Yeah, definitely.
um, yes, definitely interesting. Well,
Sorry to get maybe a little sciency and pretentious for a second, but I have to go there. It's expected of me now. I've put myself into this hole.
yeah, dude, we're all just nerds.
I know everybody's a bunch of fucking nerds. So we've actually met before. I don't think that you remember this. I was at Outbreak in 2022
Yeah.
and you were inside. I was standing in line to get food and you were inside of the vegan Indian food cart, um,
Oh, yeah.
making samosas for yourself or something. I don't know what was going on, but you were
Yeah.
basically yelling at people to come and buy samosas from this man.
Yeah. That dude, he like set first, when he first set up, was literally on the corner of where I live. So I'd see him every day and we just became like, and the guy who owns it, like, he's just such a nice person, you know. It was just like real positive, real nice, like, I don't know, without vibes, I guess would be the word that I got, for lack of a better word. Really nice vibes, just positive man. He's like super just friendly, and I see him every day on my walk home. And like, yeah, you know, when you strike up one of those weird friendships with someone you have nothing in common. We have like nothing in common, um, but we just talk every day, and you know, like, how are you? How's your day? You know, like it's such a weird friendship. I'd see him so much every day, and then yeah, then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be doing this. You know, you like this kind of music. Like, I'm going to be doing an Outbreak," and I was like, oh, "I'm going to play it. And, yeah, we'll be there." So, and he couldn't believe it, you know. And he's so when he was there, I went to see him. Yeah, and he was like, "Jimmy, you gotta come in. You gotta like come help. You know, come inside. Like, take what you want. Like." But he's always like that anyway with me. Like whenever I see him, he's always like, here, take what you need, like, you know, like, he's super nice, yeah. But it's sort of weird, like, yeah, you know, when you have those weird friendships and just people,
Mm-hmm.
like, so yeah, that guy is super funny, man. Like, and yeah, at Outbreak, he let me in to work for him for a bit because he knows, you know, he knows being in a band doesn't make you any money, so he hears all about it. So yeah, he hooks me up with free food and stuff. So I guess he was trying to give me a job.
I just was not expecting it. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a blur when you're walking around, especially at that venue that it was last year where it was like really packed in that outdoor area and the food lines were like crazy long. So you just
Yeah.
walk up and you're serving samosas and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? And you're like, these are the
Yeah.
best samosas.
They really are. They're so good.
He was
Like,
like, you were like, I think you were like, I eat them every day or like every week or some shit like that. And the guy
yeah.
was like, that's true.
Yeah. Like, dude, yeah, because I walk past him every single day pretty much. And yeah, now dude, I see him more than most of my friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like he's like one of my main interactions at like date, like, you know, most days. So he just became a good friend randomly. And Gives me for samosas in a six. So.
Well, no joke, those were some banging samosas. I think those were
Yeah.
probably top three best samosas I've ever had. So, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it was the truth. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I wouldn't endorse something I didn't
that's
believe in.
you can't put your name on some fake shit, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I ain't putting my name to no bad samosa, you know what I mean? Like
It's fucking great. Yeah, I had to when I was thinking about like topics, I was like, oh, I totally forgot about this. Me and my wife were talking about it. We were laughing.
yeah, dude, I forgot about that. That whole weekend was just we were only there for like 2 of the 3 days, but it was just a blur, you know. It's just such an insane busy event, and you know, we were on tour when it was happening, so
Hmm.
and we had like I remember we had 2 overnight drives to get there, so I hadn't slept for like 2 days, and I'm like, you know, I'm playing the biggest show I've ever played, and I'm like sleep deprived. You know, there's like, you know, you're not even a real person when you're that sleep deprived, and I was like, this is probably the biggest show I'll ever play, craziest experience as a band, maybe. And I'm like, I don't remember any of it. It's just like I was so tired the whole time. It's wild. So yeah, when you bring that up, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like being in that truck, yeah.
Do you remember doing the podcast?
Yeah, the on stage one, yeah, because I listened to it recently because I was like, oh man, I wonder what I even said. Like, yeah, that was scarier than playing the show as well. Like, weirdly enough, it was. So yeah, when it came, I remember when it came out, listening to it, being like, let me just see what I even talked about. Like, hopefully, I didn't say anything weird. Um,
I think you made out it made out okay. You seemed very
thank,
lucid, so
thank God, yeah, because dude, and if I start talking, I just talk like I'm so bad at it. I just talk at people sometimes, and you know, like especially when you're that tired and shit. It's just I don't make sense at the best of times. So
yeah, I feel you.
yeah.
I recently saw, I guess it was a while ago, you were playing a show with Boston Manor,
Yeah.
and you were trying to tattoo. I cannot remember his name, but the singer from Boston Manor backstage with like a highlighter.
Henry, yeah, the singer Henry, yeah, he was in Germany somewhere. He had been like talking about getting tattooed or tour. It was like the second to last show, I want to say, and I was like, oh, this venue, you know, this tonight's the night. And you know, he was like, yeah, please, like, I'll go get. He was like, I'll go. I had all the supplies to tattoo, but like the cling film, the gloves,
Hmm.
you know, and all the little perishables, shall we say? And then he was like, I'll go get it. Like, I'll go get it. Like, and so I was like, yeah, all right, if you get it, I'll do it. Like, and then he did. He went and got it. Like, he went and got me gloves. You know, he found in Germany, found like a pharmacy to get me gloves, got me cling film, like all the little bits. Like I said, so I was like, okay, I have to do this now. And then I just, for some reason, there was no pens. Like, and you know, I was like, I'll just draw it on. He just wants a devil. Like, I've done them enough. I can just draw it on. And yeah, and then I was like, oh, he's gone to all this effort to get the stuff. I have to come through and tattoo him. Because like on tour, it's easy to get lazy. You know, I play a show, I get high, I'm done. You know,
Hmm.
like I'm not trying to like. I've put so much energy into the show and everything. You know, once I've played a show, I'm almost like like I'm just brain. You know, I'm
Hmm.
just brain dead almost. It's like um so but yeah, he found everything, so I was like, all right, I have to do it. And yeah, luckily there was a highlighter. Luckily the tour managers all had like highlighters, you know,
Hmm.
for whatever they have to do. So I managed to draw it on. Yeah, and it was such a funny scene. Like I remember tattooing and being like, this is like, because Ethan, our bass player, had passed out, like just next to us. Like he's very prone, like not passed out, drunk passed out. He just falls asleep a lot, you know. He'll drink a bit, smoke a bit, and he's gone. He's just asleep, and anywhere he'll fall asleep anywhere. But he's not like drunk passed out. But you know, he's gone into one of his sleeps, and so I was trying to tattoo him, and I've got him just asleep next to me, and I can't see anything. It's all highlighted, you know, it's fucking just bright yellow,
Yeah.
like, and it's just, and I'm like, yeah, and I was like, I remember being like so stressed because I'm tattooing Henry. Henry's laid on just like a table. I'm set up using a Pelly case, our photographer's Pelly case as like
Hmm.
where all my stuff is, like my ink and everything. But I don't have an ink cap, like a normal size one. So I have to cut the bottom off a plastic cup. So I have a huge ink cap full of loads of ink because that's all I could do to put, the only like kind of thing I had to put ink in. And I was like, this is just, and it's anything can go wrong, like it's just, the whole setup is like, I could so easily just knock all my ink off, like, and people are coming in and out being like, oh my God, you're getting tattooed and filming and stuff. And like, I remember being like, this is the worst idea I've ever, this is exactly, this is why I don't tattoo on tour backstage. Like, it's so hectic. Like, there's so much going on. And if I had a stencil and like, you know, like stuff, it'd probably have been chill. But I was essentially, I did that tattoo and it was like, I remember being like, I'm pretty much just freestyling this. Like, this is one of those moments where I was like, okay, when people do those tattoos without the stencil or nothing, they just go straight in. I was like, I'm essentially doing that. So like, but I've also got all these people around me shouting and filming. Ethan's asleep. Everyone's coming in and laughing at him. And yeah, it was very chaotic, but it was fun. It was very fun, but it was one of those moments where I was like, this is why I don't generally tattoo on tour. It's really hard, and it's already hard enough to tattoo generally anyway. Tattoo is a really hard thing to do. I know, so, but I do have fun. It is fun, and it is fun to like do the challenge and stuff. But yeah, that was a funny situation.
That's how stories are made, right?
Yeah, because I do the tattoo, and like people just see the tattoo that I do, but I was like, the actual situation surrounding it, no one really knows that Ethan's passed out next to us, and like, no one knows that everyone's coming in, and the things we had to do to set it up, and how Henry's like laid on this table and stuff. Yeah, it was fun,
That's awesome.
but stressful, very stressful.
Just hearing this story stressed me out like a little bit. I know that you're not a Northern English native,
Yeah.
but would you call like Leeds and Northern England your home?
Yeah, for sure, man. I've been here pretty much most of my adult life. I've lived here and just become like the person and built the life that I have here. So I guess hypothetically that must make me a Northerner, yeah.
I say embrace it. Everybody I've met from the North is like the nicest person.
Oh yeah.
Why when I was in Manchester and interacting with people there, it felt like very reminiscent of where I come from, where it's like when you go into a place, you might strike up a conversation with some random person and they're
Yeah.
super friendly and nice and it's like, have a good day. Okay.
Yeah, I love that stuff, dude. Like I have so many people, like especially just having a dog and I'm just out walking a lot. Like there's people that I just see regularly and they're just like we're from completely different walks of life, like a lot of old women
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, like just general dog walkers and stuff, and I just love talking to them all. It's just nice to interact with people. Sometimes it's nice to interact with people outside of your world and just get like a kind of different perspective, or just I do really like enjoy those interactions with people. I think it's a good thing to practice,
Mm-hmm.
just being open and friendly to everyone. And a lot of weird opportunities have come my way from that. Just people offering to help you with things, or like,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, even me walking past that dude and he sells food and just being like, oh, what's this? How are you? And just generally interacting. Like, I have a hookup for food anytime I need it, like, and there's a lot of times, yeah, like I said, I come home from tour, I make no money and haven't had a chance to tattoo. So I do need like a free food hookup helps me a lot, so it's like, just, I do enjoy that. And like I said, something can come of it, like there's always something to learn,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's good or bad. It's all an experience, isn't it? And like I said, just think just being open and talking to people and all those interactions can sometimes lead you into some weird things that are quite cool, or lead you to some like, like just like oh, if you ever need help with this, or oh, if you ever need that, like, like, because you've built a rapport with someone, being
Yeah.
nice to them, just being decent to each other. It's like, like I had the weirdest thing to ever come out of it is there's a woman I used to talk to, and she has like a couple tattoos, but generally quite inconspicuous. And like, I'd see her every day. She has dogs. I stop and talk, and dogs will have a little play, and then it led me into like, I ended up tattooing. It turns out that she was a mistress, like a BDSM like mistress woman, like it's her job.
Wow.
I don't know I think mistress is like the professional word for it. I don't know fully, but yeah, that's her job in it. She's like so she has clients that pay her to like, do to torture them basically, and ended up tattooing one of her clients with like her name and shit, like, because that's what he wanted, like, and stuff. So I'm like, you never know what's gonna happen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, from just talk, I just talked to her every day, and she was quite guarded about what she did and never told me. And then eventually, I think she's like, oh, this guy's cool. Like, he seems pretty open and down for like whatever. Like, and yeah, I ended up tattooing as part of one of her sessions with a client, tattooing him, like, and I got paid really well for it and stuff, But that's just come from us talking in the park, just walk past each other. Hey, how are you? How's your day going? Oh, hi, stroke the dogs, leads to like a mad situation like that. And I always think like I could easily just keep my headphones in and not look at anyone and just walk, and but who knows what's going to happen with who you talk to.
Yeah.
This woman doesn't look like she would do that, but she fucking, and that ends up so now I just try and talk to everyone, and just, there's always something, you never know where it's going to lead you, like, it's cool. Like, yeah. So,
well, that's a fucking mad story.
yeah. Cause I said it, I was like, well, no, I was like, I better put some context to this. That's the maddest story. That's the maddest thing that's come out of those interactions. But
samosas and tattooing BDSM clients. Like,
yeah.
What more do you want?
Yeah, samosas and sex slaves. It's I do it all, man. Like,
he's a man about the world. He's a worldly guy.
Truly, just trying to take in every little from all aspects of it.
That's fucking crazy. What I wanted to bring up about the North was the music, like, but instead we get fucking torture. I just wanted to say, listening to Higher Power, I definitely hear not just hardcore, obviously.
Yeah.
Higher Power is a fucking hardcore band. But definitely hear a lot of, and this is not to like pigeonhole or anything, but it sounds like you guys are also a lot inspired by bands like Blur and Oasis, like that Manchester 90s kind of rock, if I'm not mistaken.
For sure. And like, that comes from like, so growing up, Oasis, they're the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
But being a skater, like punk kids, is almost like forbidden to like them, like, especially, you're a teenager and you're trying to be cool, and so like, that was like, as a punk skater kid, it was frowned upon to like that. But we all fucking loved it. We all loved it. That was like someone, growing up in England, like Oasis was one of they're the biggest band. Like, they were obviously like in your life, whether you liked it or not, always on the radio. And obviously, we all grew up before Instagram and Spotify, where you just had to listen to the radio a lot, and stuff. So they were everywhere. They're, like I said, they're one of the biggest bands in the world. Like, of course they're going to have like an impact on you, no matter who you are and what you're into. And they had a huge impact on me. I remember my aunt used to listen to Oasis's first two albums a lot in the car. Like if she'd ever drive us anywhere or pick us up, like some of my earliest memories from being with her are listening to Oasis. And like, especially being really confused about the lyrics because they're quite weird, innit? Like,
Yeah.
you know, as a kid, I'd be like, he's talking about a cannonball going down a hallway. Like, so yeah. And then when I started Higher Power, it was in one of those kind of phases. It was in that phase of my life where I was like, why do I care what anyone thinks about what I like? If I like something, it's time to embrace it. You know, your early 20s, you're like, you've come out of being like a teenager and you're like a bit like, you know, people are like, oh, this sucks. And you're like, haha, yeah, but really you like it. But you just, you know, you don't want everyone to think you're like lame or whatever. So, you know, and then you come out of that. I feel like everyone goes through, you come out of that phase and you're like, actually, no, I like this. I fucking love it. So like when Higher Power started, I was like, man, I've always loved Oasis and kind of had to be ashamed about it, you know. I've always really like had to keep it, you know, like had to lie to myself even that I liked them and stuff. Sorry, my dog's just trying to go on me. He wants to sleep here. But yeah, with the Higher Power. So when Higher Power started, I was like really like in that phase of being like openly like, no, I love Oasis and like embracing it. And like, so I remember when I started Higher Power and I was like, I want this to have I don't want this to have any like preconceptions or cool guyness to it or like any kind of like boundaries on what we're influenced by. I was like stoked because I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring in some Oasis influence. Like I'm going to try and use that like for sure. Like it's going to, you know, like I can find that, you know, I'm finally taking control of my creativity and like, yeah, I do love Oasis and I do love this kind of just like straight up like rock pop formula like that. I'm going to do that in Higher Power. Like that's why I'm going to start this band so I can do that. Like I don't have, you know, I don't have to pretend I'm like something else or just go with what's cool anymore. It's like a very, very much like liberating thing almost. And yeah, weirdly, Oasis definitely plays into that liberation part of my life because, like I said, it was such a taboo as like a skater to be into them where I grew up. So it's like, yeah.
Yo, fuck elitism, bro. Just love Oasis, right?
Yeah, innit? Bro, Oasis was my liberation, like awakening. It was the beginning of it. Like
I love listening to like interviews with Liam just because he thinks so highly of himself and it makes me think highly of him because he holds himself like he legitimately thinks he's the greatest rock star that's ever lived.
Oh yeah, like,
and it's the best.
He manifested it though.
It's amazing.
It's weird. Yeah, like if someone does that, you generally tend to be like, oh, this guy, yeah, like this guy is full of themselves. Like fuck this dude, like. But he like did it, and then none of it was a lie. It all happened.
Real,
like,
yeah.
Maybe like manifesting shit is real. Like maybe we should all start saying that we are what we want to be. You know what I mean? Like fucking, yeah, like it's crazy.
I want to be the greatest coffee roaster in the world. I'm just gonna start saying that to everybody. I'm the greatest coffee roaster.
Just start saying it. Dude.
Yeah, just put it out there in the universe.
Yeah. Just say it and do it, man. Like fuck it, the proof's there. It could work.
Oh man, yeah. I listen to so much and like I'm the last living rock star. That's like what he said. That's like his biggest thing, and I love it so much. I believe it.
But they truly are. Yeah, and also they are because like a band can't get that big anymore. This is a thing that like when I think about Oasis, I'm like, man, they were truly like last time and place of like being able to be that big and like do the things they did. Like that's like the world moved on so quickly from like, and you saw it in them. You saw it affect them definitely, you know, because they reached their peak, and then obviously like even just before they broke up, I think it was like the whole world and record industry was changing. So like they definitely like kind of went down. It's still big, but like the success of like when they're at their peak, and like how just because of how the record industry worked, and like how the world was pre-internet,
Yeah.
like, and shit, like, because you could be a huge. I always think about this, man. I love getting into this because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, the world has changed so much that I don't think you can be that big anymore ever. Like, I feel like they were the last kind of like huge band, and it's all circumstantial.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, you didn't have the internet, so you couldn't listen to 10 Oasises. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like nowadays, you could, you can, you're giving Oasis on the radio because they're that fucking good and they're the biggest band. They got all that shit, resources, all that shit. Like, and they got the hits. Obviously, that's why they're so big because they got the
Yeah.
hits. Like, but like that, so that's why, and that's all people had to find music a lot of the time. Like the general public, and but nowadays it's so easy. We almost have too much at our disposal that I don't think anyone could break through or be that like that torchbearer for anything again. Like,
Yeah.
like it's Turnstile are definitely like doing it for hardcore for sure, but like, like it's still not, and that's huge to us. But
Mm-hmm.
like, it's still there's still never going to be anything like Oasis scale. Do you know what I
No.
mean? Like, I don't think there can be, like I said, just because of how the world is now. Like we've gone past that. There's too many factors that made that possible that are gone now.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's dude, it's so interesting. I think about this quite a lot.
we live in the world of the playlist now.
Yeah,
So it's yeah, it's I mean the music that I remember the most from growing up before we had Spotify. I didn't even have like a walk around CD player, like
yeah.
it
I had
was
one of
like
them for a bit.
I had to beg my parents to put the CD in the car.
Yeah,
So it's like
dude, and they
that's the
like,
music that
yeah, I'd be,
sticks with you still today.
yeah, and then like I'd be like, and it's, yeah, because you couldn't be like, oh, mum, put Slipknot on. Like, she'd maybe every now and then let you put it on, but she'd get 2 songs in and be like, this is insane. We're not listening to this. So like, oh, but you can have Rancid on. Like they're chill.
They
I like
sing.
I like a bit of the ska reggae vibes. Like, yeah, we'll put that one on if we have to listen to your music. Like, and then that's it. You get like that's, and then you're almost bonding with your parents over that because they're like, because you have to listen to it in the car with them. You can't put headphones in. Like, dude, there's all these things that just, I think that there's a generation that's never gonna have that. Like, yeah, like me and my mom never bonded over music, but we kind of did in this weird way where, like, in the car, if she let me put something on, I was like, oh, that's cool that she likes, this is bearable for her to listen to.
Yeah.
Like, like Less Than Jake or some shit. She's like, all right, like. And she, oh, I kind of like this song. Like she would, every now and then she'd try and like, it was like,
Palette.
be like, this one's good. I like this one. Why can't they all sound like this? Like,
Why do they
like,
have to
so,
yell?
yeah, but like kids aren't going to have that, dude. Like they're not going
No.
to have that. They're going to be able to listen to their own music in their headphones. And there's another disconnect. We're like, I feel like in this modern world, we have so much convenience, but there's not so much. Like I said, like you don't have to go to your friend's house to listen to a record. Like I went to my friend was like, I remember one of my best friends growing up, he would be like, I'd be like, oh, I have one No Effects song. He'd be like, I have 4 albums. Come over and I'll make you a playlist.
Yeah.
And like we could do that together, but nowadays you can just do it on your own. Like you don't have to interact with anyone to become to know anything about anything, really, do you? Like it's crazy. Like,
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I think, sharing those experiences and like a generation not having that anymore, or actually like most generations now they will not have that, like you're saying.
yeah,
Like you can share a playlist on Spotify with your friends or do like the group listening or whatever. And like I
yeah,
hope that becomes more of a thing, honestly,
yeah,
because outside of that, the only other kind of sharing of experiences would be like going to a live show.
Yeah, true, mate. And yeah, live music still is.
It's irreplaceable.
It's the last. I think. Yeah, I guess if maybe it's the last kind of shared experience. Like a lot of people in with music are forced to have almost. It's not changed, is that has it? Like it's still always been the same. Like so. Yeah, maybe that's why we love live music so much and are so obsessed with it because we're looking for that. And then like that is maybe yeah, I don't know, maybe it is the last stuff for that kind of experience that people can share. Because and yeah, and then maybe yeah, I kind of had a revelation now you said that. I'm like, damn, yeah, maybe that is why I'm always going to shows and trying to play live music. Like
Yeah.
fuck, maybe
Like that's where you're with your friends, even the people
yeah,
like outside of your walk of life. If you're at a show and
yeah,
the one thing you have in common is you want to see this band. Like
yeah,
I went to a Killers concert, right?
yeah, yeah.
I love the Killers, even
I
though
love some Killers, yeah. Like
yeah,
they are a very good band. Yeah, some of the
like
first album, man, crazy. It's such a good album.
I just think that they represent like American rock pretty well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they're
for
kind of a
sure.
continuation of what like Bruce Springsteen and who else am I thinking of? Anyway, that era of rock, like
Yeah,
that, that big America rock.
and breaking out of like a small town kind of thing.
Yeah, like you
like
start like, your
and becoming
hometown,
someone.
small town USA, and then you like want to
Yeah,
be a star. So they kind of
yeah,
represent that. So
I
it's
get
fun
that.
music, but then like at the concert, you see all these people, and it's like 30,000 people, at the show,
Yeah,
and you see all the people around. It's like so many people I would never ever interact with. Like if I saw them on the street, I'd be like, they're like a
yeah,
normie or something like that. But
yeah,
at
for
the
sure.
show, we're all screaming the words to this band that we like. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the
One
one
last
last
thing,
preservation of like how you share an experience with people with music.
dude.
That's it.
I've never thought of it that way, and it's so right. I'm like, damn, that's so true. Like, that's such a sick thing to like discover. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that is truly must be why. Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, that of course that must be why I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're all nerds. Like, so like it's like sick to like be like in a room full of people that are as excited about this music or something that you are. It's so cool. And yeah, damn, what a revelation to have had. Like,
That's like
that's sick.
I don't know how much like you enjoy moshing, but for me, I love when somebody goes to a show and they're getting into like
Yeah,
hardcore, like heavier music, and they see like they're on the edge of the pit, they're just watching the pit, and a
yeah,
two-step section comes up, and my friends that have never two-step before, I know them, so I'm like,
yeah.
you got a two-step. If the band calls you out to two-step, you better get in the pit and two-step. It's the easiest mosh move you can do. You're not gonna get hurt. You're just gonna two-step, and so
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
seeing
the
those
easiest shit.
experiences.
Yeah, yeah, you can like watch it, and dude, it's so sick. Moshing's such an insane thing as well when you think about it. You're like especially within hardcore, because you're like nowhere else in music does that where you're like, I want to do this movement to this part of a song. Like, and some people will go to a show literally for like one part of the song and just
Hmm.
be like, I can't wait to lose my mind at this bit. Like, it's like moshing is yeah such an insane thing. Like when you think about it in a hardcore sense. Like, because
Yeah.
like I said, there'll be kids that will just go and they'll be like, they can't wait to two step. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And there'll be kids like, and then like even like I've had it. Like I went to see Cold World recently, and I don't really mosh anymore, mainly because like I'm probably pretty high at most shows now. I'm very mellow now. You know what I mean? I'm just, I'm 30, I'm 31, which isn't old at all, but I'm like
Right.
I'm just a mellow person. I don't have any anger really or hatred inside of me. I don't need to exercise that anymore. I did as a kid for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you're right. That's how I got into hardcore. Like I needed that, but nowadays I feel like I've just become more happy and comfortable. So like to me, for me the act of moshing, I don't really need that, but I love to watch it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not very physical. I got this dodgy knee, which is part of the story but I saw Cold World and I was like, all set. I could resist moshing, you know. I was like, this is sick, and I was just hyped to watch my friends mosh. I could resist it, like, but I was fucking loving it. And like then like I can't even remember what song it was, but something just happened when it just I was like, I can't resist moshing to this. And it's one bit out of the whole set, you know.
Yeah.
One riff, but like I was like, all my brothers in the pit, everyone else in like higher powers in the pit, we'll stage dive in, like, and I was like, I can't not, like, there's no way I can't to this one bit of this song, like, you know what I mean? And like people do that, they go to a hardcore show, and I actually moshed for like about 12 seconds and my knee came out of his socket, which it always does. So I was like, oh, this is why I don't fucking mosh. Like, it's like this. I quickly remembered why I am just a spectator nowadays. But dude, it was like, yeah, it's like such an insane thing, isn't it? Like, it's like when you think about it, like the dynamic of it, what it is, what you're doing, like the way we're punching each other and shit, like, or the way there is different types of moshing. Like I said, you got like two-step in is pretty like, just like friendly in a weird way, isn't it? You're just doing this dance move to like a song, like it's like a beat. You're just moving to this beat. It's a certain beat you can two-step to. Two-step is pretty, you know, you're not trying to smash anyone, or some people do, you know, you'll make your way through. There'll be some people that will like two-step their way through people, you know, like, nah, this is I'm going this way, like, move out of my way, like I'm just gonna mow you down. But like two-step is pretty friendly when you think about it. Everyone's in their own little space doing the little. You
got your own little circle, like.
Yeah, and you're just moving to the beat, you know, like it's such a, like, I've definitely spent a lot of time thinking about the dynamics and like probably thinking way too deeply about moshing, but it's like, you know. Yeah,
all that to say, I love Higher Power. Getting to see you guys. I got to see y'all in Montreal with Vane in 2019, which that was such a fun show. Weird show because like half the bands didn't make it across the border. But
which was that in the venue of all? Was that in the venue that was like a old car garage, or was that?
No, it was like upstairs.
Upstairs.
Like in a theater kind of thing where it's like really wide.
Oh, okay. I think I know. Yeah, I think I remember now.
But it was with Vane, and Soft Kill was supposed to play, but they didn't come in. And then who's the other? There was another band that was supposed to come in too, but they didn't make it.
That tour was insane, dude. That every time we tour with Vane, it's the most chaotic thing. So yeah, probably some bands not getting through was the least chaotic thing that happened. Like, we found a dead body in a car on that tour. Do you know what I mean? That's how.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's how like how minor somewhat like Soft Kill not getting in probably was. And then oh man, and then Soft Kill left the tour. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just left the tour. Like, so they might like, I can't remember at what point that was, but yeah, they just straight up left the tour. So that tour was fucked. Like, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if we have time for a whole fucking story about that, but all that to say, I really enjoyed seeing y'all here in Montreal, but then getting to see y'all in Manchester, close to home turf. I had two bands going into Outbreak because I'm 30. I'm more of a spectator at this point as well, especially when you've got big ass fucking Northern English guys spin kicking the shit out of people. But I had two bands on my list that I was gonna stage dive for. One of them was Turnstile because I feel like that was the last stage they're gonna play for a long time that you will be able to stage dive on.
For sure.
The second band was Higher Power because it's like the most positive vibe of a set that you will ever see. Because I love your call out at the beginning is always like, where's the freaks at? Like, where's the freaks in the pit? And it's like, oh shit, this is going to be so fun. Like, not even scary or angry, just fun. So
I think that's it. Yeah, that's just, that was, like I said, that's just my MO with Higher Power. I just want it to be fun and people to embrace just being, we're just weirdos, innit? Like I said, like we were talking about, like mosh styles and stuff. Like moshing in itself is a fucking weirdo thing to do. Like why do we always why obviously style is good to have. Like, it's cool to look at someone with style, but like, dude, like why sometimes everything's a bit formulated and like I just want everyone to have a good time, and we are doing weird shit, dude. They're fucking so weird that we mosh. Like,
it's everything from the moshing to like,
no one does that.
No. If you describe that to somebody just in normal culture, they'd be like, why are y'all fighting? It's like, no, we're not fighting. Like, everybody's having fun. Like, this is how we have fun. It's like, what?
Yeah. So I'm glad it translates. Yeah. Cause that's it. Like I said, that's it. I just want fun, good time, embrace the weirdness of what we're doing, like some bands like embrace the chaos and the violence, which is also cool. There's a place for that. Like King Nine. Fucking they do that, like they embrace that, like it's fucking sick. Fucking I want to embrace the weirdness of it, I want to embrace the I want to embrace the fun and the weirdness of it all, and in life in general, so yeah, I'm glad that translates. It's cool to hear that, as that's what my mindset is, so it's nice to hear it translates to people and
psychedelic hardcore.
Yeah, that's very much it.
What do you guys have going on? I know that there's an Enter Shikari tour, which is fucking. I mean, I was a scene kid when I was in high school with like the fucking hair and the shit. So Enter Shikari was definitely a band that was like on our mouths in that time. Yeah,
but dude, I'm the opposite. I knew Enter Shikari and they're from very close to where I grew up, but because I was a punk guy growing up, I knew of Enter Shikari and I never hated them. It's not like I'm like, oh man, I hated that. Like, oh, that band sucked. Like, I just didn't really, they weren't on my radar. So, but yeah, so many people have been hitting me up like stoked we have that tour.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I always feel a bit like, oh, I'm sorry. I always have to be like, oh, that's sick that you're stoked. It's like, sorry, I didn't grow up with them being like a seminal band for me, like, because I was still listening to like fucking like Rancid and Pennywise at that point, like punk dude. But I'm probably in some weird crush shit at the same time. So I was just, it's like funny, yeah. But the amount of people that have been stoked on that, it's cool to hear though, isn't it? That like, again, people can just be like, oh man, I love that band growing up. That's cool. You're going to tour with them and stuff. And I'm stoked we got the tour because I know everyone else in Higher Power pretty much, I think pretty much everyone else in the band was the same. They grew up listening to them. So it's like, that's sick that they get to do, that we get to play with all these bands that played a part in becoming who we are now in it. So I'm stoked for that. That'll be fun.
New music?
And then, apart from that, we're just trying to write an album, dude. Like,
okay, cool.
Yeah, we nearly got lost in that, when a band signs to a major label and then the major label drops you and then you don't have any money to do anything, and because obviously we're on Roadrunner and they shut down / dropped us. It was a classic, one of those nights, you get those bands in the 90s that were like on a major label and then the major label drops them and they struggles to tour anymore because they got no tour support, and they got High Power nearly, we're kind of trapped in that at the moment. So we're trying to rebuild, and it's been a bit of all those bands I looked up to that did one major label album that were like Sam I Am or something, that warned me about this. I'm like, damn, I'm living that right now. Fuck, like, Seaweed as well. Those bands like Sam I Am and Seaweed did like one major label album and then they like never did anything after really, or they did but they were never big. And High Power's kind of in that phase at the moment where like, we've got no Roadrunner, so we have no money or resources and trying to do an album, but we've wanted to get normal jobs.
Fuck.
So things are taking quite a while to like do, but we're trying to write an album. That's our main focus now, is get a new album done, get new music. And like we were saying, we're not going to tour much this year at all. but that Enter Shikari tour as a main support came up and was too good to say no to. So we were like, right, we'll do that. But we're still, our main goal this year is just to get an album done that we are happy with and, you know, think is good enough to release. Because we're so self-critical as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we're just writing at the moment. That's it. We've got through all the bullshit of, you know, the Roadrunner not having a label and all that. And so, you know, we've just got, you know, it took a while to get through all of that and COVID and shit. So now we're back in full writing mode, full production mode. It feels good. So yeah, like I said, apart from that tour, the only major thing is that we're just trying to get an album released this year at some point. You know, so it should be fun, man.
Oh, I'm excited to hear. I didn't know about all the Roadrunner bullshit.
Yeah, man. Like I guess, yeah, because it's no. I guess like Roadrunner aren't going to post and be like, "Oh, we're shut down," and then
dropped
you know
all
they
our
dropped
bands.
everyone. Yeah, and then none of the other bands that were on it have, like, I don't know, like obviously like Code Orange and Turnstile were on it. Code Orange, I don't know, I don't know if they've posted anything, but from, you know, I know they're going to another label or probably looking for one. The same with Turnstile. I've heard little things, but none of the bands that were on it have said anything or done anything or signed to anything new and made an announcement about it. So no one really knows. But yeah, as far as I've been told, there's no one at Roadrunner. There's like one guy trying to keep it afloat, but they dropped pretty much everyone. So there is no Roadrunner right now. Maybe there will be again eventually. Who knows? But yeah, it's you know, like I said, another classic music industry thing. Obviously wasn't making enough money for the big dogs and they shut it down from what I heard. And yeah, but they also shut it down pre that new Turnstile record coming out. So I think they probably are kicking themselves now.
Man, Turnstile is like the biggest name in hardcore, whether you like it or not. Like so yeah, they kind of fucked themselves with that, man. I wouldn't have dropped them if you're gonna keep anybody right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if they definitely dropped Turnstile. All I know is that, like, from what we got told, is there's one guy at Roadrunner right now is not doing anything. They were trying to shop it to other labels to buy, and no one wanted to buy it. Like I said, everyone got dropped from, I know Code Orange are trying, or, you know, going other places. So Turnstiles, last time I saw them in person and we talked, they were like a bit like, I don't know what's going on with it. It's all kind of crazy. So, but yeah, right now there is no Roadrunner and there's no Higher Power on Roadrunner. So yeah, we've got exciting things coming up now. You know, like I said, we've made it through all that shit. But yeah, it's funny because all these bands, all of my favorite bands are bands that kind of went from the 90s that got picked up by a major label and it ruined them in a weird way. So now I'm in that.
Now you're
almost I've lived through it. I'm like, damn, like now I understand why they all stopped touring and didn't do another record after this record for like 5 years or something, you know. I'm like, fuck. So
I hope all the best for you guys. Like, I'm bummed to hear that about the label, but you know, I hope you guys will recover. Y'all write great music, so yeah. Like, we
will, man. We it's not gonna stop us, you know. Like I said, it just slows the process, the momentum.
Bit, so.
Yeah. So, but it can only, like I said, nothing's bad. It'll all lead to where we need to be. So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's like the whole what happened with pre-Church Road. You know, like everything that went down, and they kind of recovered, and a lot of those bands moved on to like amazing things. So
yeah, so you know what I mean, it's definitely not bad. I'm not complaining or trying to make it a sob story. It's, you know, it's just part of just how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
It's, and it's, if anything, it's made us stronger and more motivated. So it's gonna be a good, hopefully only a good record can come out of it.
Just do what I do with my friends and family. I'm not coming to see y'all. Y'all come see me. Come out to make Higher Power a destination. So you only play these
Yeah, that's
shows, and people have to come and see you if they want to see you.
that's a good bit of advice actually. I will take I will take that.
Jimmy, this has been a lot of fun. I think we talked a lot longer than I had expected, but
Oh yeah,
that's
so I
that's
told you I talk
that's
a
part
lot.
of it.
Yeah, dude.
I've got one last question for you, and you can interpret this question however you want.
Yeah.
I'll just preface it like that. What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Oh, favorite city.
And it
I'm
can be,
just
it
yeah.
does not have to be specific. It can be whatever beans you interpret that to be.
Can it be separate cities for beans and separate cities for breakdowns?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. I'm gonna say, well, favorite city for beans is Leeds because it's the only place I can get a baked bean pizza. That I've never seen in the whole world. There's a spot. It's literally again right by my house, 2 minute walk away. You get a baked bean pizza and it's incredible. So I'm gonna say Leeds for that, and for breakdowns, I'm just gonna have to go with New York because, fuck man, everything I've ripped off has come out of there. Like really, like Life of Agony, Glassjaw, Vision of Disorder, fucking Silent Majority. Like they got all the breakdowns. They've got the hard breakdowns. They got the melodic breakdowns. They got the fucking I'm gonna say New York for breakdowns for sure.
That's dope. I was hoping that there would be some baked bean talk at some point, so we gotta mark that off the list.
Dude, yeah. If you're ever in Leeds, hit up El Faro's, get the baked bean pizza with a barbecue base.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Barbecue sauce base, baked beans and cheese on top. If I post that on my Instagram story, I get hate, mate. I get people being like, I used to think you were cool, now I fucking hate you, you're disgusting. But it's the best pizza in the whole world. And I don't know why people will accept beans on toast, but baked bean pizza is disgusting to people. I literally get people give me like genuine hate for posting it. Like, you're disgusting. Like, girls who probably thought I was cool and hot are like, I'm never going to talk to you again, dude, if you eat that. Like, but I'm like, it's just beans on toast, dude. It's bread and beans on toast. Yeah, with cheese and barbecue. Like, it's enhanced beans on toast. Like,
it's just a new way to deliver beans and toast into your
to my mouth. Yeah. And I don't have to make it. Someone else makes it for me.
Baked bean culture in the UK is that, like, it's so different than even where I'm from. We don't have baked beans with like barbecue, but it's like
I've had the barbecue baby. Dude, that shit's sick.
With bacon with like fat back cooked in it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah, but debate y'all in the UK. There's beans on every fucking thing. It's crazy.
Dude, I wish we had more barbecue beans here, honestly, because every time if I make beans now, I add loads of smoked paprika and barbecue sauce and butter.
Oh yeah. So you got it down. You just gotta cook it with that fat in it. That's what makes it.
Yeah, like loads of butter. Yeah, and like I said, smoked paprika and barbecue sauce and garlic olive oil. Is like I make fancy beans. Like that's something I actually bought from America when I had beans there in the barbecue places. I was like, oh yeah, like why aren't we adding some smokes and barbecue flavor to this shit? Like it's sick. Like
it sets it off. So, that's it. That's the key.
This nation was built on fucking baked beans, man. It's such a big thing here. It's huge. Like,
thanks so much, Jimmy, for hanging out. This was such a fun time. I expected no less than to have a great conversation with you. So please enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll be looking out for some new higher power shit hopefully this year.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, and then like I said, I just love a good conversation. So thank you for providing all of it. Yeah, it's nice to meet you properly.
Cheers. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Jimmy for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out Higher Power. They have music available on all streaming platforms. Check out any shows they may have coming up near you and show them some love. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns, on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com, where you can also check out some of our great merch. Pick up your tickets for Montreal Madhouse, happening February 17th and 18th at Fufu and Electrice. That's going to be a fucking awesome time. So if you're in the area, upstate New York, anywhere within driving distance, pick up your tickets now. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.